Welcome, football fans. You're live with Third Down with Morgan Holder. I am Morgan, the awesome one.
And I am Morgan's nemesis, who he could never shake. I am Holder.
This is going to be an interesting show. We got some good topics. Also, we got Coach Varia back on the show. Um, Coach Varia, if you're on, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
All right,
How y'all doing?
Can't hear him. I can barely hear him.
all right. You might need to speak up a little bit louder, Coach, because Holder's
I
old and he
gotta
said he
ask
can't
him
hear you.
questions.
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. I don't know if
Yes.
I don't know if Holder can. You know, Holder's like 70 years old.
What the hell up?
I'm gonna go give. I'm gonna give my shout outs. I like to give my shout outs to First Take with the best analyst in Stephen A. Smith, Outer Pocket with RG3, and the Manning Cast with one of the greatest quarterbacks in Peyton Manning and his little brother Eli Manning.
Those Mannings are jokes, man.
Don't they
I
have?
don't even know why you proclaim they're the great. Oh my goodness.
I said one is great, and the other one's the little brother.
You okay? Anyway, I'm gonna give my shout outs to the pivot with Ryan Clark, Super Bowl winning Ryan Clark, the Rich Eisen show, and who is also part of the blueprint of ESPN. And Pat McAfee is doing some things. Matter of fact, he had an interesting interview with Aaron Rodgers, who we'll talk about later in the show.
Pat McAfee is the only one that I can think of that's the best ones you got. Coach Var, do you got any shout outs you want to give? Hopefully better than Holders.
uh, to be honest, not many. The Heisman race is finna start. Shout out to Travis Hunter. He's doing big things, of course, as well as the running back Aston Genty, who's the first one since Bush to do the things that he's done. That's pretty much all I got.
When the Heisman is that tonight?
Yeah, it's finna start. That's starting now.
Oh man, I forgot about that. I don't know why I thought it was next week.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
That Holder, the Heisman, something that we are missing.
I thought it was next week too.
That's what we get for being old. I do the topic that I want to talk about, and I think it's most interesting to me besides the whole Aaron Rodgers thing, is the Philadelphia Eagles, their situation. I know people took some things out of content. I watched some interviews with Hurt. I watched some interviews with AJ Brown, and I think people took some things out of content of what he was meaning. But before I give my thoughts, I want to listen to Coach V's and Holders. I want to listen to you guys' thoughts. Coach V, what's your thought on this whole Philadelphia issue?
I really don't keep up with the Eagles. I'm a Steelers fan, crosstown rapper, so don't take it in any disrespect when I ask, but I think they're really irrelevant. So, what is the issue? What's going on?
Ah, well, I'll let Holder explain the situation. Is AJ Brown said that they need more, that more so that he was asked a question of what they need to work on more. Right? People took it out of the
Hmm.
content. People thought AJ
Well,
Brown was coming toward Jalen Hurt, which was not the case. I'm pretty sure Holder thinks the content is AJ Brown's taking after Jalen Hurt coming after him, but I don't think it's the case either. Holder, what's your thought on this whole ordeal before I give my spill?
Look, man, after Graham came out and said what he said, everybody changed their tune. But when AJ Brown was asked what do the Eagles need to improve on, and he said passing, and he had only received like 4 receptions in the last 2 games. I could be off, but he wasn't happy about the receptions he was getting, which means he was aiming at it, Jalen Hurts. I know he's the godfather of Jalen Hurts' kid or whatever, but you know how receivers are when they want to get attention and they're not getting that attention. And then after Graham said what he said on the radio talk show, that Hurts' feeling, or not Hurts, but Brown's feelings were hurt because he wasn't getting enough passes. I think it was aimed at Jalen Hurts. And then after the whole thing came up on ESPN and this and that, then they tried to smooth it over and clean it up to make outsiders think there's nothing going on in-house.
So let me ask you
clearly there is.
Let me ask you a question. Did you watch the whole interview when that question was asked? Did you watch the whole interview, or did you just skim through?
I watched the whole interview. Pat McAfee. And a lot of other shows. Stephen A.
When that question was asked, did you watch the whole topic of what was asked and why he said it?
Yes.
So did you see the part where he said, our running game is really good, there's no need to work on it, we just need to work on our passing game?
That was a cover-up.
I don't think it's a cover-up. Let me tell you why I don't think it's a cover-up. So, last game, 4 catches, 43 yards. Smith, 4 catches, 37 yards. If you go back and look, Saquon Barkley ran the ball more times they threw it.
Thank you.
So I don't think it's Jalen Hurts. I think it's the play calling. I don't think he was taking a shot at Jalen Hurts. And that was what I was coming at. I think Brown was taking a shot at the play calling and the coaching itself because of it. If you're getting more rushes and more attempts to rush than you are passing the ball, he's not coming for the quarterback. He's coming for the play calling.
No. Did you look at the highlights of the game? When he was throwing the ball, he was not throwing to Brown. Brown was wide open a couple of times. He was not throwing the ball to Brown.
I'm saying this and I'm meaning this.
Look at the highlights.
He's saying something because I do see where you're coming from. Okay, yes, there was times where Hurts, even the last game before this game, Hurts overthrew some receivers, underthrow some receivers. He wouldn't look at the open receivers. He was just passing the ball around. But I do believe that he was coming at the play calling. If you're running the ball more times than you're passing, that's what you need to work on because people's going to stop that run game eventually.
Let me ask you something, Morgan. When your running back is leading the league in touches and yardage, and you are winning games, why would you veer away from that? That is your blueprint. Yes, people will start to key on him, but
if you have two,
they've been trying to stop him all season, and they have not been successful.
If you have two top tier receivers, why not use them as well as you are running the ball? Because again, eventually, the Lions can do it. The Lions can stop that run game. And not just the Lions, the Pittsburgh Steelers can be that team to stop that run game as well. So if you line on that run game the whole time, instead of passing that ball, it's going to be teams out there seeing that and be like, oh, all we got to do is rush, blitz, and that's it.
What was the word you said? Eventually.
Eventually, yes.
People have keyed on it, and they haven't stopped it. I'm not saying it can't be stopped, but if that's your bread and butter, just like D-Hop was.
Let me ask you a question.
Prime of his game, and all these other receivers are at the prime of their game. They were going to those guys. A.J. Brown has not been. His name hasn't been called out a lot, and you know how prima donna receivers are.
But I don't think he was taking shots at Jalen Hurts.
It's an opinionated show. I mean, Coach may have something to say, but in my eyes, different than yours.
He was not.
I think he was.
I don't think it was about Jalen Hurts. I'm saying the play calling. Again, if you run the ball more than you're throwing.
Look at one of the highlights. Brown is open. He's got his hand up. He's waving his hand, and Jalen throws it somewhere else.
Maybe the play calling wasn't for him. I don't know. Coach Vari, what's your take on
wide open? Come on.
What's your take on this whole?
Well,
he might be wide open. Go ahead, Coach.
Well, I sit and I think, and I'm like, okay, well, he could be right. Yeah, maybe that the passing game does need to be fixed. But then I look at it and I'm looking at their schedule and I'm like, they're winning, they're winning, they're winning, they're winning. And they have a winning philosophy and they're winning with the same game plan each and every week. They're finding a way to win. Why complain about something that's working instead of just like he's selfish? That's being selfish. You ask me, that's selfish. You don't complain when you're winning games. I don't care if you beat the Panthers by one. You do not complain if you're winning games. You just show up. Like Mike Williams, he got traded to the Steelers. He barely have seen the field. Yes, he made a game-winning touchdown his first week there, but since then he has done nothing. He has yet to complain. And I look at AJ Brown, and he's not worth it for him to be complaining like that.
So do you think he's complaining about Jalen Hurts, or you think he's complaining about the play calling, or do you think he's complaining about all of it?
I think he's complaining about all of it. He ain't getting the ball enough. From what he's basically saying, he's not getting the ball enough. And if they are throwing the ball, they ain't looking his way. As a team player and want to be a Super Bowl champion, you should just be ready when it comes your way. You shouldn't want to try to be hero ball. If you're winning, I don't care. If I have Saquon in my backfield and I'm the head coach, we're going to run the ball 45 times, literally every game. 45 times, we're going to run the ball. Saquon's like that. AJ Brown, you can't throw him the ball 10 times and expect him to make 10 catches.
I I see where y'all coming from, but I still say that he was aiming for the play calling. Yes, I get that he was open, but again, maybe at that time that play call he was faster to get open, but maybe it was supposed to be for somebody else. And another thing is when you go back and watch his interview, he he was saying the receivers need to block more, and he's taking blame on that part too. Of hey, not only do I need to catch, I need to block as well. So and that's another thing that people is not relying on is what he also said. He's also taking accountability of I need to fucking block, right? He's not blocking. That's what he's saying. I'm not blocking. Smith ain't blocking. We need to block more, guys.
I think Coach is right. I mean, if you're winning, you shouldn't be complaining. This shouldn't even be a subject as being a weak part of the game. It shouldn't even. If you're winning, doesn't matter who touches the ball. You are still a component of that winning team. And if the blueprint or the game plan is to do what has worked up to this point, then do it. And yeah, if
And
he isn't blocking, that's on him because he's a big guy,
and
right?
maybe
And if he's not being physical enough, then he needs to take that upon himself. But don't blame the passing.
and another thing, this could be all in the works. Maybe he's doing this just to get under people's skin and not so or Philadelphia. Maybe he's trying to let other teams know like we're gonna run. We're gonna expect you to see that run, but you're not gonna expect us to pass that ball. And maybe he's doing that. Maybe he's trying to give it like a little show of watch what we can do when we can do it.
True.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just my thought. The way I feel could be wrong. Who knows? But I don't think this
You
is
don't
gonna.
you don't
I don't think
you
it's
don't
gonna
recall him
jeopardize.
saying that when he was in Tennessee?
No, I don't think he could play that much in Tennessee.
Oh, he complained. Why do you think he got traded? I know he wanted a big paycheck,
Oh, I definitely know he wanted
but
a
he
big
was
paycheck.
also complaining
But
that he
Ryan
wasn't
Tannehill
getting the ball.
sucked. Ryan Tannehill will throw the ball on the ground, throw the ball in the sky, throw it in the sideline. He was playing Vinny Testaverde out there playing blind, deaf, and stupid.
Ryan Tannehill was the most improved player under Arthur Smith.
And he went to Tennessee and was terrible.
Under Arthur Smith, he was in Tennessee under Arthur Smith.
He was terrible in Tennessee, is all I'm saying. Terrible. Terrible. Terrible in Tennessee. Did they win a playoff game? Did they win a playoff game? Answer that question. Did they win a playoff game?
God, I would have to look that up. But AJ Brown was the hottest thing in the league
Mm,
when Arthur Smith was there and Ryan Tannehill.
I, I don't
Tell
remember.
me if I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
they
I
won
don't
a
remember that one.
playoff
I got to look
game.
it up. They did.
Yes.
They did. Who they
I
beat?
had to sit here
They
and
won
say,
one.
I sat here and listen. I sat here and listened to you for a minute. Yes, they played the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game.
How long ago was that?
They was up. They was up 20 on the Chiefs, and the Chiefs came back and won.
The Chiefs won
Yeah.
or Tennessee? Oh, but Tennessee they didn't win a playoff game though, right? Or they did, right? They just won one game.
They made it to the
Look, that
championship game, so they won two playoff games.
that must have been like forever ago.
No, it was like
That don't even
Patrick Mahomes' first championship.
that don't even count. That was like 16 years
Dude,
ago. That's like dog lives. That was a long time ago.
I I smell
it don't
hater.
matter how long ago it was. AJ Brown was hot,
I'm not a
right?
hater. I'm just being honest. Just being Holder. I
I'm just
know
saying.
AJ Brown was hot to you. He was good. Don't get me wrong, but he wasn't hot. He wasn't the hot commodity like Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson is. I had to bring that up.
Dude, let it go, dude. Let it go. He was ripping the league up. It's Ryan Tannehill. So yes, he was complaining about not getting the ball enough, and he wanted a big paycheck, just like your boy Diggs. He wanted more money. He was selfish.
He was a
He didn't care
cancer.
about the team as a whole.
Because the second he went to Buffalo, he thought grass was green on the side. Went to Buffalo. I want more. I want more money. I want need more passes. They didn't do squat over there. He goes to Houston, Texas, and tore his ACL the first year.
But he was complaining about Josh Allen too.
That's what I was saying. He went to Buffalo and thought the grass was greener, but it wasn't. And now look, tore his ACL first year with Houston.
He's getting old.
He is. Next up, speaking of old people, next up is, and I love this topic, and I know Coach and Holder, I know y'all gonna love this topic too. What the hell is going on with Cousins in Atlanta? They have all those weapons over there for Cousins just to fucking fail.
It's Michael Penix time.
Oh, you know
They
what? I'll
draft
let
him for
Coach
no
have this
reason.
one first.
You said it's Michael Penix his chance? Is what you said?
It's his time. I'm
That's
not
what I
going.
said.
I'm not going to get into too much about it because you know he did start off pretty right, but let me break it down to you. That Atlanta team needs a mobile quarterback. They play
And
great defensive teams. You look at the Saints, a great defensive team. You look at Tampa, a great defensive team. They got great defensive lines. So, in order for you to be successful in the NFC South, you have to have a mobile quarterback who can get out the pocket and run the ball. Look at Tampa, Baker Mayfield. If he has to run, he runs. Look at the other teams in the South. If they have to run, they run. Kirk Cousins is an old, static quarterback who likes to sit in the pocket, and his days of sitting in the pocket is over. He doesn't have Justin Jefferson that can bail him out no more. He doesn't have Jordan Addison. He has two young receivers over there, a young tight end, a young running back built around a young team. He's just not a great fit. He's too old for the young guys to start who needs a mobile quarterback who can move around in the pocket and get them the ball when they need it.
do you think he was overpaid?
Yeah, well, yes, but in non-conference games, he performed. Like I said, it's the conference games. He's going against great D lines over there in his
Even
division.
even the Vikings they put a hurting on them last week.
Yeah,
And I'm not taking nothing away from
but
the Vikings defense because their defense is pretty good.
that's what I'm saying. But look at it; they got a great D line who can put pressure. And Hunter and a lot. They got a D line, and then they have a secondary who could cause havoc. It's just he does not perform well under good D line teams. If you go look at the other teams like the Panthers, he considered the backfield to be a gunslinger all day. But you got to understand when you're too much of a gunslinger and when you're not enough. And this previous week, he was too much of a gunslinger. But like Jameis Winston is a gunslinger. He has to know when he got to slow it down and when he can pick it up.
Do you think that the Cousins? Do you think he's going to back up Penix next year? Or you think it's going to come sooner than that?
Oh, I think Penix gets his chance really soon. But if you look at it, they probably let Kurt finish it out. And by the start of next season, he'll definitely have the starting job. And I think they might cut Cousins. I try to trade Cousins to get rid of that
I would
cap.
say because if you cut him, you still got to pay some of that money. If you trade him,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have to do so much, right? I think
Hmm.
Phil. Look at Carolina. They need a quarterback. Jacksonville might need a quarterback. There's some teams that need quarterbacks out there. The Browns might need a quarterback. I try to do some will and dealing to try to take some of that cap off without paying him that much money.
I
I'll do
think
some trading.
I think hold on, go ahead.
Holder. What's your take on this? Like, what's your spill?
Oh man, I told you Cousins was terrible when he was with Minnesota. He he just doesn't have what it takes. So like Coach said, man, teams are going to mobile quarterbacks. Those old stationary quarterbacks, they're not in the league. There's not many of them in the league. I mean, look what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. He can't run like he used to. He's failing.
Now,
And these defensive pass rushers are getting leaner and faster. There is no way that they can stand up. He had a good season, like Coach said, the first half of the season, but teams are looking at tape and they're coming after him. They know where to get him, and he's throwing picks. If you have the talent that Jared Goff has, right? Throw 5 interceptions and still win a game. Is Cousins doing that, throwing 4 and 5 interceptions? No, it's just he's done. And wherever he goes, I don't think anybody's going to pay what the asking price is, or maybe he'll get some trade capital. They'll get some trade capital for him, but not much. I mean, he's
you,
basically a Joe Flacco
you could probably get a fifth
backup
and
set.
you could probably get a fifth and sixth round for him. That's about it.
Not even
That's about.
that.
I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you the same question I did Coach Holder. Do you think he's overpaid?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I thought it was insane when they offered him that much money, and he was out with an ACL. He hadn't passed any physicals or anything like that. He was paid before all that took place. And I know they needed a quarterback, and yes, like Coach said, that is a young ball club
I think they was
that's
going.
built around him, and he can't keep up
I thought they
to
was good
make those
last
guys
year.
effective. He's not the guy to fit in that backfield.
I
You
thought they
got to
was
put
good.
Penix in there.
I thought they was good last year without Cousins. I mean, they had Desmond Ritter in there. They had
Oh,
Marcus
oh,
Mariota in there for a
stop,
little bit. I thought they was good. They was winning games. What was you gonna
stop.
say? What was you gonna say, Coach? Before I went back to Holder, what was you gonna say?
Um, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember a lot of that, but I just know it's time to go. Only way that ATL keeps him is if he decides to take a pay cut or if he ups his game. And I don't think ATL should have paid him that much, to be honest, because of the fact they know they're moving on to Michael Penix next year. They know it. We know it. They didn't draft him for him to sit behind Kirk Cousins for 2 to 3 years. They didn't do it. And I don't think next year he would be starting anywhere.
You know that when they drafted him, I was pretty shocked. I was like, why in the hell would you draft him when you have Kirk Cousins? Honestly, I was more mad because the Vikings passed him up and got J.J. McCarthy. I was more mad about that.
You let me
Yeah.
ask Coach a question. Coach, if
Yes, sir.
Cousins has another bad game this week, do they pull the trigger on Penix?
Uh, let me think. To be honest, yes. But then what if they pull the trigger and put Penix in and Penix goes out there and he does worse than Cousins have done? What if
I
he's
don't think
not
he will
ready?
feel worse. I think he's ready. I think he's ready.
You don't
And you won't.
you don't think their season is pretty much over? I mean, playoff wise,
No.
They're in the hunt still. No, they're in the hunt still, Holder.
they're in the hunt. They're in the hunt, but they can slip even further if Cousins fails this week. It's what 3 games left after that.
Yeah. I
But
mean, right now
but listen,
they're only they're only game back behind Tampa Bay. That's it.
yeah,
Only a game.
that's the worst division in football right now. They still can win their conference. They still can win their division. They can still be division winners. If you look at the rest of their schedule, they got the Raiders next week. This week, dub. They got the Giants, dub. They got the Commanders, maybe, and then they got the Falcons, dub. They should be going 3-1, if not 4-0.
I think Commander's going to give them a loss. I hate to say it. I think Washington will give them a loss because Washington needs to win as well to stay in that contention of winning the division with the Eagles. So I think Commanders are going to play all the starters.
Yeah,
But if you look at Tampa Bay's though, Tampa Bay theirs is iffy as well. I mean, they had the Chargers. That's going to it depends on it's a hit or miss, right? They got the Cowboys. The Cowboys should be an easy win. They have the Panthers. That should be an easy win. And the Saints. That's going to be a toss up. It depends on who's going to play quarterback for the Saints when they come against Tampa Bay. But that's going to be a toss up for that game.
yeah.
I guess we'll see.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I can't. I
It's in
can't
the
wait.
NFL, and like Coach said, that is the weakest division
I think it's
in
one of the weakest
football.
divisions. I think the other one we're all missing is the NFC West. I think that's another weak division.
Mm,
Well, it's weak, but
And,
those guys,
and just because of the
even
49ers and what's
they
going on
can
over
still
there,
strike though. Those teams don't have great records, but they can still be dangerous.
I mean,
yes.
I think honestly, I mean, all of them. It's at least the 2 games that back. I mean, in that conference, but yeah, and yeah. So the next topic, and I don't want to bring this up because I hate bringing it up because I don't like this guy we're about to talk about, and I hate the Jets. But Holder want to talk about it, so I'm gonna bring it up. More Aaron Rodgers drama. Coach, have you heard anything about this? Did you get a chance to look at it and see what he was crying about?
Not yet. I didn't get to hear it yet, but
Oh,
um, I did hear that Aaron Rodgers pulled Alan Lazard from the practice squad, and I heard
of
about
course.
how I've heard a lot of it's like a lot of dark magic going on over there around the Jets that I want to stay away from.
So you're a little younger than me. Actually, you're quite younger than me. Um, but Sports Center growing up, was criticism, but not like it was today. Holder, do you want to sort of kind of fill in Vari? Because I know you watched tons of this. I've watched a couple interviews with him, but I know you've watched plenty. Would you like to fill him in?
Yeah, um, I think Aaron is feeling a lot of pressure from a lot of these analysts and these sportscasters, and he went on the Pat McAfee show and said that ESPN and all the analysts are ex-football players that are has-beens and were never really that good when they were playing, and they're trying to find ways to make themselves relevant. if they could sit back and talk about him and his shortcomings and try to make him into something that he's not. So he's firing back at all the analysts behind all of these bad games he's having. Now that's what they get paid to do,
But and here's
right?
my
If you're
take.
doing good, they worship you. If you're doing bad, they trash you.
But here's my take, Holder.
There's no middle.
Aaron Rodgers, his time was coming anyways to play bad, right? But we all know he can't take criticism well, and it's shown again. He can't take criticism well. He couldn't take criticism well in Green Bay. His last 2 years there, and now it's firing back on him again, even more. He needs to realize he's not the best quarterback, and he can't be in that conversation. He also needs to realize that Sports Center back in the I'm gonna say early 2000s was still criticism. They were still criticizing players, right?
Yeah.
He might not think that,
Yeah.
but they were still doing it. They were still doing it. Uh, and what hit me the hardest though was Dan Orlowski. His dumbass shouldn't even be talking about this topic. He was on Aaron Rodgers' bandwagon, but this motherfucker then went out and got a safety by running in the back of his end zone. Why? Why is he even? He shouldn't have anything to say. He's quarterback and sucks as an analyst. He shouldn't say anything. I'm just saying.
Oh, Morgan.
I'm just saying. Dan should not.
I mean,
he should keep his mouth shut.
man. To be fair, I mean, he's not the only one. Think about these other analyst quarterbacks from back in the day. Trent Dilfer was another one. Oh, there's holes in the Steelers defense, blah, blah, blah. But yet he couldn't exploit them, but he would talk and burn down other quarterbacks. Okay, I get that point.
But Trent Dilfer did win.
On paper, Morgan, the Jets are a Super Bowl team.
Oh, for sure, facts. I mean, they brought over Devontae Adams for what reason now? What reason besides losing? He left Las Vegas because he was losing. They brought over to the Jets, and look what happened. They are losing.
We can't do the discount double check anymore.
I think he should have stayed in Las Vegas until next year.
I think he should have asked for the Steelers.
Think about it. And, Coach, you can relate and compare Aaron Rodgers with Kirk Cousins. Two pocket quarterbacks. And to be honest, Aaron Rodgers has not been accurate at all.
Oh, for sure. No, he has not. No. I still think Dan Orlowski should have kept his mouth shut, though.
Yeah.
We know that. What do you think about it, Coach?
Well, like I said, I really don't get too much into the New York Jets because I've never liked the Jets. I never will like the Jets. They're not a team that I really like. Aaron Rodgers, I don't know if y'all know, but before every season he goes to a place by itself, no phone, no technology, no TVs, no nothing, one dark room, and he stays there for a week. They say it's like some type of dark magic that he does to get his mind out for the season. You ask me, this guy's word, he's a creep. I don't like nothing about Aaron Rodgers. He sucks. He played for Green Bay. He's a cheesehead. He's a horrible guy. His mustache is terrible. His hair is terrible. He don't have any mobility. He's played for terrible teams. He's just a horrible guy overall. And they got him up in a top 3 quarterback conversation, and he's not even in my top 5. So,
yeah, I was going to say he might be in the top 20. Maybe. Maybe top 20.
These last few seasons have ruined him, and he should have retired while he could.
He reminds me of Brett Favre. And the reason why I say that is because Brett Favre had a chance to retire, right? Aaron Rodgers had a chance to retire. Aaron Rodgers has took a lot of seasons away from Jordan Love. And we've seen how good Jordan Love is. But over there in Green Bay, he took a lot of seasons away from him. He went to the Jets, and look what happened. They traded Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson he's not playing. He's a backup. But they took from a young quarterback who they should have molded into their franchise quarterback because he wasn't bad, right? And gave this
Right.
bonehead some money to come over there. Got hurt his first year playing over there, and then you want him to dictate. You want him to fire the coach. You got the coach fired. Then you got the GM fired. Not to mention you brought over Devontae Adams, who badmouthed Aaron Rodgers before they both left Green Bay, but you brought him back over, and they can't win games.
Well, Morgan, you need to also take into account that not Brett Favre, but Aaron Rodgers is, I mean, people have said he's very arrogant outside of football,
Oh, we know what's his
but
the lady he dated Dana Patrick. She said that. She said he was an asshole.
Danica Patrick, yeah, she said that. But look, like Coach said, he's a has been. I've never been a fan of him. I thought he was good in his heyday. Yes, never been a fan. But the Jets fans don't like the Jets, right? So I think it's time for him to move on. When you think about it, Zach Wilson, final season with the Jets,
One more
he had a
games.
better record than Aaron Rodgers this season.
I think they should have kept Zach Wilson. I really do.
I, I think it's time to sell the team.
Sell the team. I mean, because I don't like Bill Belichick. I don't. But he left the Jets when Bill Parcells was over there coaching. He was on his staffing back in the 98, 99 season. He left because Woody Johnson bought the Jets that following year, and he didn't like Woody. That's why he went to New England. So that tells me a lot. If a coach left because they didn't like the owner, shouldn't that say a lot about that team?
It should, but you know what? That's why they drafted all these players and everything was looking good. All they needed was that centerpiece,
You know who the Jets remind me
and
of?
it just fell apart because of the ACL. And then he hasn't produced like Coach said. He's going to this dark room. He went to Egypt, skipped all of training camp, right? So that's his moment to gel with all these receivers and his backs, and then get the protections right with his linemen and all this other stuff. And he wasn't there.
Let
He
me ask
wasn't
you. Let
there.
me ask you two a question, and I know the answer, but I want to make sure that I'm not wrong. Do you think him going to the Jets messed up his Hall of Fame career?
No.
Holder?
No,
Okay.
no. His
I didn't think I was wrong, but I wanted to make sure.
everything he got to this point is due to him. It's just like OJ when they claimed he killed his wife and all
Oh, he
this.
definitely
He
did
had
that.
already attained those acclimates.
OJ definitely did
That
that.
stuff that he earned. That stuff that he earned. You can't take that away. You shouldn't be able to. So no, he will be a Hall of Famer.
Do you think this hurt his legacy?
No, because if you look at the penis picture taking Brett Favre, they're still hailing him as one of the greats.
Oh, and that scandal in was it Mississippi of him taking welfare money?
Mississippi,
Yeah,
the college, yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I'm with Coach on this. I think it's time to sell the Jets. I mean, you have the Giants in New York. You got the Jets in New York. They're playing both of them playing the same field, right? Why not move the Jets somewhere else? Start somewhere fresh. I'm just saying.
Yeah, like Canada.
Mm-mm.
I was thinking more like that sorry ass city in St. Louis. St. Louis, Missouri. They
Nah.
need a team back.
I don't know about stuff. Do you really think? You know how long the Jets have history? A
Yeah,
lot of history, a lot of roots
but
in
they
New York.
haven't been any good.
You can sell them, but don't relocate them.
They haven't been
I
good
don't think they'll
since
relocate them.
they've been good since what, the '60s, maybe the '70s.
They can sell them.
I think they need to
Doesn't matter.
relocate.
You talk about the New York Jets Sack Exchange. You talk about Joe Namath. You talk
Okay,
about some other teams they had with Who's that quarterback? The young blonde-haired country boy. Um, the Jets have some roots,
Look,
there.
it's time to
Sell the
start.
team, yeah, please
Look,
sell
look,
the team.
look what the coach did.
Start building
Indianapolis
that
moved.
team up again.
Indianapolis moved
Go
from
out and get your
Baltimore.
quarterback.
The coach moved from Baltimore and got a Super Bowl in Indianapolis. It's time for the Jets maybe to change its history, change it up, get a new.
Not gonna
I think they should. I mean, the Browns need to leave
Not gonna
Cleveland. I think the Browns should leave
You remember
Cleveland.
when the Saints were terrible and
Oh
people were
fuck!
wearing bags on their heads, just like the Jets are doing now, Jets fans, and they're still there.
The Jets ain't
That
gonna be good
team
though. The Jets
is
is
part
gonna
of
be
the
the
soil
Jets are gonna be the
in that state.
Jets. Jets are gonna be the sorry ass team. They're and I hate to say this because I don't have nothing bad about the Lions, but the Jets and the Browns is the Lions of the NFL this era. The Lions have reclaimed their territory of being dangerous, like when Barry Sanders played. Now the Jets and the Browns are a laughing stock of football. And I can say
The
that halfway.
Lions are frauds.
You said the Lions are frauds?
Yes,
What?
they are.
Oh my God! Hold on, wait a minute, Coach. Oh, you got my attention.
Why are they frauds, Coach?
I mean, look at it. Let's look at it this way. Just give me 1 second. Hold on. Let's look at it this way. I'm gonna break it down to you in a couple of simple little steps. I actually, um, y'all gonna see tomorrow when they play the Bills. Just let me tell you, they played a Packers team
Speaking of the Bills,
that should have won
they play Packers. I get that. They play the Vikings.
because of the refs cheated and gave the Lions that win. They played a horrible Bears team and only won by 3. They played the
Division games
Texans.
is a little different though.
I mean, the only big games that they won is what? They have yet to be a contender.
They beat the Vikings. The Vikings are contenders.
No, they're not.
What?
They're frauds.
What? Coach, I liked you for a second. I liked you for. I loved you like a brother. Now I'm. Oh.
Oh my God, Coach is on a rampage.
They are
Coach, how's the
frauds.
Vikings frauds?
Let me
How's
tell
the
you.
Vikings frauds?
Let,
Time
let,
out.
let, me-
Now,
let me
now
no
I
let
gotta
me
listen to this one.
let me tell you. If there's any team that's going to come out of the NFC, it's going to be Philly,
It's gonna be the Vikings.
the
Come again?
Seahawks, Green
What?
Bay.
Oh,
Holder, can I ask one question of Coach Holder? Can I do it, please?
oh, how? Yeah.
Coach, can you please put down that flask, okay? Stop yourself a little bit, gain consciousness, and come back and talk to me about how Green Bay and Seattle can be a threat in NFC.
What?
Morgan.
How can Green
Morgan,
Bay and Seattle be a threat?
Oh my.
They are. Best believe it.
Seattle is terrible. They're barely winning that division. Green Bay has lost multiple games. They're in third place in that division. Man. Ooh.
Morgan, do me a favor. Bring up the Lions schedule.
I'm doing that right now because I almost had a heart attack. Oh,
and I want to hear Coach out. I want to know why, but I want us to be looking at something, and that way we can dissect what Coach is saying.
Hey, Coach. Let me ask you a question. You said the Seahawks, right? You said the Seahawks are going to be dangerous. Let me ask you something. How can it be dangerous when the Lions beat them 42-29?
That was
42-29.
that was when they were still trying to figure things out. Remind you, they got a first year head coach who has this his first year ever being the head coach. He had to figure things out. Now look at them. They are on a roll.
Are you sure?
They've won their last four. They just scored 30 points.
They got demolished against the Bills.
That's fine.
Hey, by the way, they're 5-0 the last 5 games.
And
But
then guess what? The Bills just got 44 put up on them by the Rams, a team that the Seahawks owns.
now, hold on. The Seahawks beat the Rams when the Rams wasn't healthy. Okay,
Ah,
the Rams didn't have Cooper Cup, and they didn't have Pacheco, Nico, whatever the hell his name is. Okay, they didn't have him. They didn't have them. You can't use that logic right
Tua,
now
man.
because
No
those guys
Tua.
was hurt. It's gonna be a different outcome when they play in January.
nah,
I'm telling you, it's gonna be a different outcome.
the Rams is a better team. They're a good team as well, but I just think the Seahawks will come out of the NFC.
And the Rams did beat the Rams did beat the Seahawks though,
Yeah,
20-26 and over
but
without the
look,
best
but
players.
look how early in the season that was.
Look. And they barely scraped by against the Jets. They barely beat the Jets, the sorry ass old quarterback over the Jets. Look,
Hey, Coach. Coach, I got a question for you because you kind of threw a curveball. You said Minnesota are not contenders.
Not at all.
How can you back that up?
Inconsistency. It's the only word I need to say. They can be a great.
we have
Oh,
won.
hold on, coach. Hold on, coach. Listen, they have one game the best offense in the country. Then you look at
We have
another.
won 6 games in a
No, 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 no,
row.
no, 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 no. You lose to the Rams by 10. You beat the Colts by
The
8.
Rams.
You
The
beat
Rams had
the
all the
you
players, by
beat
the
the
way. Don't
Jaguars
forget.
12-7. You beat the worst team in the division and the worst team in the NFL, and for more years to come, 23-10 by you let them score 13, you only score 23. You beat a bad Bears team by 3. You beat a Cardinals team by 1, and I believe it was a
Divisional
missed
play.
field goal.
Look, a win's a win. That's all I'm going to say. It doesn't matter about 1 by 2. A win's a win. And let me tell you, Arizona was tough. Arizona has good defense. The defense is really good. Offense is really good. The Jaguars, look, I don't know what happened with the Jaguars. I think we took them too easy. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I can't tell you that. But
Inconsistency.
what I can tell you though, is that we smoked the Falcons. The Falcons, and I told Holder it's going to be offense versus offense, no defense. It's going to be offense versus offense that showed that game. But we beat them 42-21.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. We beat the Packers. Now, when we beat the Seahawks this coming week, or next week, I'm sorry, next week, and we beat the Packers the following week, what's going to be excuses then?
Guess what? Y'all won't. Y'all really won't. I could put my whole life savings on that. Y'all do not.
I mean, I feel like
Y'all do not
we're
beat
going to lose
Green
against the
Bay.
Packers because we can never sweep Green Bay. We
Listen,
always split.
y'all
So
gonna listen.
I can say that.
Y'all gonna beat the Bears, and then you're gonna lose out and drop to a bad seed and to have to play the Lions.
You really think we're going to lose out
Yes,
after we play the
y'all
Bears?
losing to the Lions in Detroit. Y'all losing to the Packers, and y'all are not going to Seattle and beating them. It's not happening.
I think, and I'm not being biased. I'm a Vikings fan, but I'm not being biased. I think we can beat Seattle. Green Bay is going to be 50-50 because we can never sweep Green Bay. But in the Lions, I think we will lose to the Lions. I think we will come out and lose definitely against the Lions. So I'm going to say we should only lose 3 games the rest for the whole year instead of 2. But if we beat the Packers, my hopes might go up against the Lions.
Oh, Coach. You know what, Coach? I'll give you credit, man. for those statements. But
And I
there's
don't.
some other things you said that we're gonna challenge later on when we do the picks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
I
man,
gotta.
you talk about a bold statement,
I
and he
gotta.
stood by it. He stood by it, Morgan.
I got some questions on that one. Before we go though, before we go on, I do have to because Vari did hit a subject about the Bills. Yes, they lost against the Rams. What broke down? Was it the offense? I'm gonna say the defense. I think the defense because defense gave up points, right? Winning games, it has to be a good defense. Defense wins championships, right? Not offense. Offense does, but defense wins championships because you got to stop points, right? You got to stop yards. Do y'all think the Bills' defense broke down, or do y'all think that the Rams contained that defense and showed holes in that defense?
Puka Nakua. That's where I'm gonna leave that at. Puka Nakua. Because Cooper Cup didn't even get a catch. 0 yards, 0 catches, 0 targets. Puka Nakua and that team is probably one of the most dangerous teams in the NFC right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if they put up 30 tomorrow. That's a team that's going to be.
So they got to win out. They got to win out to make the playoffs. But do you think that
No, they're eight
people's
and
watching the
five.
Bills down show? Oh, they are 8-5, ain't they? What they got to win out to win that division.
Yeah, to win the division, but I don't think they got one out to get in.
Yeah.
Well, they're 8 and 6.
No, because I think they got one up against. I mean, yeah, I think they should okay. They should be okay. They should be okay.
They have to win the
Um,
last two.
do you think? Do you think that people was gonna play Buffalo the same way the Rams played them, or do you think again Buffalo has some holes in that defense?
Nah, you can't play at. You can't try to take the same game plan. I will say that they will fix their issues, and they will come at you real crazy. But
What do you think, Cody? Oh, go ahead, go ahead, Coach.
they just. I think the Bills will be fine. They just had a bad week. You ask me.
Okay, okay. Holder, what's your take on it? How do you feel? Do you feel like the defense got hosed, or do you think that the Rams found a way to beat the Buffalo Bills?
I think every defense has holes. It's just a matter of the way that they're exploited through the game plan. Now, the Rams had the right game plan. Now, don't get me wrong, because the Bills had a chance to win that game.
Multiple times.
They had a chance to win that game. But unlike other teams, when teams get this lead, they kind of, you know, they slow down, right? The Rams kept applying pressure. They kept scoring. So I just think the Rams can surprise a bunch of teams. Like Coach said, Cooper Cup didn't get a whole lot of receptions, and Nakua is the one that's doing everything. When you sprinkle in a little bit of Atwell,
Atwell was
and that
good.
team is dangerous.
Atwell is good. He's not great, but he's good. And for his role, he's good. Let's put it that way. For his role, he's good.
Can I can
Right?
I can I interrupt for 1 second?
Yeah, go ahead, Coach.
Travis Hunter just won the Heisman race.
Oh, that's some big news. I was hoping Ashton Jennings would win it. To be honest.
They just
Oh well.
Well, I
announced it,
was
and he
just
won.
watching it too. Yeah. Well, Travis Hunter was the front runner. He was the front
Yeah, I
runner.
was hoping Ashton would because. And here's the thing about I don't like Colorado. I don't like Boise State, but Ashton Jittery was doing things that we haven't seen for a while in running back. He was up there,
Yeah.
about to break some more records that hasn't been broken for years.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting draft to have them two. I think both of them will go 1 and 2.
You think the Bears
Yeah.
try to pick up on Hunter?
No, the Bears going to pick up somebody that shouldn't be on that team. I mean, I'm just saying they might draft a coach. Who knows? They might draft a coach. Oh, hey, we got a coach.
I mean,
Travis Hunter's going number one.
I can't wait. It's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be a topic for the offseason we gotta talk about is the draft and what to expect.
who's got the worst record right now?
Carolina, I do believe.
Right now.
I want to say
Who?
The
Carolina.
Titans.
Titans. That's right. That's correct. Titans. And the Titans might need a running back. And I mean they need some receivers too.
No,
But
the
they need a running
Titans need
back.
a quarterback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they need a quarterback.
Yeah.
Big time.
We'll
think
leave this thing gonna cut it.
I don't think they will get a quarterback though in the first as the
Shador
first pick.
Sanders is right there.
Sanders is good,
I know,
but he's not better
they're
than.
not paying Levis anything.
Yeah.
And what's his face that left Pittsburgh, Rudolph? He's not anybody. They need a quarterback.
Look, let me tell you something real quick.
They're not paying Levis.
Dallas is going to draft Sanders. Deion's going to come to coach that team. I'm telling you.
Nah,
And that's
he
a
already
fact.
said he ain't leaving.
He said that, but it was some interviews he said what he said, and those interviews I kind of believe he's leaving because it was 2 interviews. He said I'm hoping Dallas drafts my son so I can kick Dak to the curb because I'll come and coach that team because somebody needs to let Dak Prescott go. He said that twice. I'm just saying. Saying. Speaking of trophies and awards and records, and y'all about to be happy at me. Let me tell you why. Defense Player of the Year. My vote will be T.J. Watt.
Well, yeah.
I mean, T.J. Watt has 47 tackles, 9.5 sacks, 17 tackles by the way for a loss, and 5 forced fumbles.
Now,
probably
y'all
give it
gonna
to
hate me.
somebody else. He's not in double-digit sacks. He's still got some time left in the season to kind of gain some more ground.
But for him to be playing like this because it's taking him out of his element because usually he has about 15, 16 sacks already, right?
That's what I'm saying. But they did that when he was leading in sacks. They still gave it to Myles Garrett. And they gave it to somebody else, or what's his face from the Rams.
But we all know that analysts and people who does the stuff, they don't like Pittsburgh for some odd reason. They treat Pittsburgh like a redheaded stepchild.
Now, y'all gonna hate me.
That's all that is. Your boy Bill Belichick is going to North Carolina.
That ain't my boy. He's going to go there and cheat. What we're going to hate you for, Coach?
I love T.J. Watt. I love the Steelers. But there's one guy there's one guy, if I could make a vote, that I would pick. And he plays for the Steelers. But T.J. Watt has been my favorite player since Big Ben. My pick this year would go to, right now, Cameron Hayward.
Okay.
55 tackles, 8 sacks, 10 tackles for loss, 8 pass deflections, and he's 35 years old.
That's not a bad pick because I had him up to with the top 3 in my top 3. So that's not a bad pick at all. None. That's actually a legit reason for him to be as well. I mean, it's surprising that for me to pick a Pittsburgh player at all to win anything, but yeah, I mean, if anybody from Pittsburgh don't get it, I'm gonna write a letter to the NFL commissioner. I'm gonna tell him my thoughts and how I feel.
Well, the players vote. It's the players, man.
No, we should change that rule. That's what we should do. Last but not least, before we get to picks, I brought this up because last week Coach said that this guy I'm about to talk about wasn't a good coach. Okay? So this is why I'm going to talk about this. Brian Flores. Could he land a head coaching job next year?
Oh, why are we talking about this scrub?
Scrub. When he was coaching Miami, and I don't care what Tua was talking
No,
about.
no,
When he was
no,
coaching
no,
Miami,
no.
He had Miami winning. He did not have a
No,
losing
he
season.
didn't.
He went to the playoffs.
They went to the playoffs. They was winning games. Okay? They was winning games. They was going to the playoffs. Matter of fact,
He beat
he
him in the playoffs.
he is going to become a head coach. His record wasn't bad. And it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It was 24-25. Okay? He only coached 2 years. He only coached for the Miami Dolphins, by the way. Right? The sorry ass Miami Dolphins. But you gotta think. His first year he went 5-11. After that it was 10-6 and 9-8. He was winning games. They only gave him 3 years. Right? First year was terrible, but then those last 2 years was phenomenal.
He was over 500.
Yeah, so I don't think they gave him a chance. I don't think they gave him a chance at all.
I want to hear Coach break this down because there's a difference between being coordinator and head coach, right?
Right.
So, I mean, Coach, if you think he was garbage, I mean, give me something because I'm curious. I mean,
because Minnesota got.
I like him, and I know we had him as an extra on our defensive coaching
For the linebackers,
but,
correct?
Give me something, Coach. Give me something.
Okay.
I mean,
So
Minnesota got the best defense right now.
first off, it's gonna be tough for him to get a head coaching job because of the lawsuit.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, the lawsuit is gonna be tough for him to get it just because of that. Coordinating, yes, but the head coach, I don't think he will be able to get it because of the lawsuit that he has going on. Now, he has great playmakers on defense that is giving him a great case to be a great head coach somewhere. But I just don't think that he has what it takes to go back to being a head coach. You ask
So
me,
let me ask you.
go ahead.
Go ahead, because mine is something else about him. But go ahead, finish yours up. I'll let you finish
Okay,
yours up.
you ask me, let's look at it. He was only a head coach for 3 years. His first year, he went 5-11. His second year, he went 10-6. His third year, he went 9-8. He did not win a playoff game in none of those.
He didn't, but he was winning
Not
games
one.
though.
He was winning.
And you gotta think.
What
But you
a
gotta think
10 and
though.
6 record stands out to you, coach?
But you gotta think. It's Miami Dolphins, right? They was a trash team when he was coaching. No one had them winning games. Nobody had them going to the playoffs, right? But he took them and, like you said, 10-6, 9-8. He was winning games with them. Nobody expected that team to win those many games. And I mean, yeah, I think they tanked to get Tua. They tanked to get Tua. That tells me a whole lot about this team, about this organization. Look what they got now. They got Hill. They got uh, Waddle, and they still can't win games. So was it Brian Flores or was it really the organization?
I think it was him. He's a part of the organization. Him.
But if
That's why they moved on.
but a coach can't. A coach can only do so much, right? A coach can't go out and draft. A coach can't go out and sign. They can recommend, but if the owner isn't on his side, he can't do much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for example, and I hate to say this because this basketball and football is two different things. But look at Michael Jordan, right? He told the owner for the Bulls, "Go get Scottie Pippen, go get Dennis Rodman," right? And they listened to him. They listened to him. Look at Aaron Rodgers and Jets. Aaron Rodgers telling the Jets what to do, and they're doing it. So again, ownership, ownership. If you don't have that coach in your, if the coach don't have the ownership in his back pocket, they ain't gonna help him. They're gonna make him fail. Just saying.
Very
You know
interesting.
what I was gonna
I don't
say.
think Coach agrees with that.
I'm just saying ownership, right? Okay. For example, Mike Tomlin, he could bring in players. You know why? Because Pittsburgh ownership loves him. They will listen to him. That's why he's one of the winningest coaches alive. Because he could tell them,
He
"Hey, I want this
earned the
player. Go get him."
trust. He earned for them to listen. He didn't just walk in and want things done. Mike Tomlin is a winning coach. When you're a winning coach, you get to request what you want
Okay,
and you get what you
so
want.
that's why I was gonna go back to you. That's why I'm going back to it. So again, he won 2 years with Miami. 2 years, took him to playoffs. Didn't win, but he won 2 years with them, right? That's not earning trust.
No,
It's not showing them like, "Hey, I
nah.
don't got nothing to
He
work with,"
went 9-8.
but I'm showing you. But he don't have no, he didn't have nothing to work with. But he's showing them, and look what he got. Look what happened when he left. Look what
This,
happened.
this,
The
this is
coach.
this is where I'm gonna leave it. This is where I'm gonna leave it at. So I'm gonna leave it at. How many rings does he got?
Okay, it's fair, fair. But the coach you got right now for the 49ers, as soon as he comes in, look what happened. Look what happens as soon as he comes in. They get Tyreek Hill. And they still can't win no games.
They
Still can't
made
win
it
no
to the
games.
playoffs too. They made it to the playoffs too. So you telling me
And they still
just because he made
and
it
that's
to
what
the
I'm saying.
playoffs,
And that's what I'm saying. The owner ain't doing nothing for the coaches, you know? So like you can win games, but if the ownership isn't gonna be on your side, what's the point of coaching for that team? Because
he has a
Daniel what's his
quarterback
name?
who's concussed. He can't win nothing with having to switch a quarterback out halfway through the season every year. He can't.
But you didn't see that. You didn't see that when when Brian Flores was coaching. You didn't see Tua get concussed like that.
What does that got to do with the way that you know what?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But no, honestly though, no. I feel like Dolphins organization doesn't want us to see. I mean, you have a good coach over there. He's winning games, but you're not living up to his expectations. I think he needs to be gone. I'm not saying fired, but he should leave Miami and go somewhere else.
I don't like him.
What? I think he's gonna be a good coach. I think he's a good coach.
I don't like him. I think he's
He got great
retarded.
swagger.
Have you ever looked at his interviews? He looks lost when he's trying to convey
You
something.
know why he looks lost?
And
Because he's trying to figure out why this ownership is like this. Why'd you bring me over into this fucking boat sinking that you won't help me out? You only give me two good players. I'm working with it. I'm showing you my trust. So again, it goes back to organization. And
two good players. They got more than two good players.
I'm just saying, when he came over, they got Ramsey and Tyreek Hill. And, oh, on my bad, and Waddle. They got
Maybe
Waddle
he's just
for him.
worried about why his players is getting locked up the morning before a game. Because that's what I would be worried about as a head coach. Why the hell is my
Yeah.
players getting locked up in the morning?
Let me. I'm gonna say this because this is what I was gonna say. If Brian Flores don't become a coach in the NFL, I think he will go to the college level to be a head coach.
I like that. I do like that, but I don't think he's an NFL ready coach.
And the reason why I say college, I mean, you gotta think. I mean, his mindset. He's been in the pros for so long, right? As a coordinator, as a head coach, special teams coach. He's been in that level of being a pro coach. He could take his mindset to the college level to get them guys ready, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
again. I mean, and he's defensive. He's defensive minded as well. Maybe Alabama might put him on their team as a defensive coordinator. I mean, they need some work over in Alabama. Just saying.
True.
I think if he went to college levels, he would go into head coach slot. I don't think he would
Yeah,
be a coordinator, but
I
yeah,
think
he'll
he
have a lot
would.
to say about the defense.
I think he would, but I think starting off, I think he would do whatever it takes to show what he can do. I mean, it's easier to get a head coaching job in college if you came from the NFL ranks. I mean, look, we've seen Bill Belichick's old ass get a head coaching job in North Carolina, and he has never
Bill
coached
Belichick's
college.
the GOAT. Bill Belichick's the GOAT. He deserves it.
Did you say it was a goat?
He got 8 rings.
He did.
He has. Let me let
Bill
me
Belichick. Come on,
let
man.
me ask you something. Let me ask you something, Coach, real quick before we move on to these picks. If he was a goat, how come he didn't win after Tom Brady left? Tom Brady left, got him a Super Bowl,
Tom
almost
Brady
two.
left. Tom Brady left when Tom Brady left. Guys retired. Bill Belichick was left for the rebuild.
Well, he wasn't great then, huh? If he was great, you could rebuild. Just saying. Look at Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson, one of the greatest coaches in
Yeah,
the NBA.
Trophy winning quarterback.
And NBA is not NFL, sir.
I'm just saying two different things. I know two different things, but I'm saying Phil Jackson had look. He the real built in L.A. He went to L.A. and won. Went to Chicago and won. Just saying. Just saying. Can't believe he said he was a goat. I can't believe you said he was the greatest coach though. That blows my mind. He coached with
Not
the
the
sex
greatest coach of all
traffickers.
time.
He coached with a sex trafficking team. They sex traffic over New England.
Look, the only thing I can give Bill Belichick props for
It's cheating.
is he was smart enough to get out of Cleveland, and they gave him that job.
Oh yeah. Because Lord knows he'd be a singing sheep over there with that sex addict, Deshaun
He
Watson.
quit. They didn't let him go. He quit.
Well, he should have done something. Because if not, he'd be still over there with that sex addict. Let's go ahead and get these picks. Um, I, we had a game Thursday. For some odd reason, you two picked the 49ers. Y'all lost, by the way. I just want y'all to know that right now. Y'all lost. Both of you guys lost. I
Ah,
won that game.
I
I had the
regret it
Rams.
every moment.
I had the Rams, by the way. Um, and when I picked this team, I knew because the 49ers, they got some issues going on over there. Injuries, a defensive player quit. They got a lot of dirt, I should say, over there, right? I don't see them going to the playoffs. I don't. I think 49ers days are over with. But I had the Rams. The Rams are a strong team. They need to win. They need to keep winning games to win that division. And that started Thursday night. Next game is a head scratcher for me because I'm trying to figure out why somebody picked this team over a team, right? I'm not a Taylor Swift guy, but me and Holder picked Kansas City over Cleveland. Coach, you picked Cleveland over Kansas City. I'm trying to think why. Jameson Winston is not a good quarterback.
We got an upset alert this week, baby.
That's your upset alert. That is your
That's
upset
my
alert.
upset alert. That's my upset alert because Jameis Winston and Jerry Judy is going to prey on that horrible Chiefs secondary.
Okay, I give you Chiefs has terrible secondary, but Jameson Winston threw a pick six against the Denver Broncos. They caused
A
him the
good
game.
Denver Broncos.
Okay,
A good Denver
not
Broncos team.
not to mention when he played in Tampa Bay,
I think he threw a couple of pick sixes.
he did. But the game winner was that one that I still want to talk about. And not to mention when he came to the league, he played for Tampa Bay. By the way, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the same Buccaneers that Tom Brady had. He threw 40 interceptions.
It's
40
different players.
interceptions.
Different players. Different players.
Mike Evans was over there. That's who
All
Tom
right.
Brady had. Mike Evans. And I get it.
So
Coaching was different. Coaching was different when Tom Brady was over there. But why would you pick Jameson? You think Jameson Winston's not going to throw any interceptions this week?
Not just that, I think the Browns defense prey on Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, I'll give you that one too. I think that defense is good, but I still, if it was anybody but Jameson Winston, if it was sex addict Deshaun Watson, I might agree with you. But this is Jameson Winston. Jameson Winston has been a terrible quarterback since he's been in the league. Terrible.
Oh, brother.
He
He's a
is a bust.
Heisman. He's a Heisman finalist, a national champion in college, the number
That's
one
since he's been in the
draft
NFL
pick.
and hasn't done squat. Does he have a Super Bowl ring? Super Bowl wins? No. He's been a backup quarterback since he's left Tampa Bay. Again, he is a washed up, has been, busted quarterback who should be not in the league. Terrible. Sucks.
All right,
And he
all right,
grew up
bro.
as an Uber driver.
Oh, yeah. And he sexually assaulted an Uber driver. I don't know what Cleveland season is. Cleveland has two guys that's done sexual assault things.
Morgan,
What?
the Browns know how to get after Mahomes. Remember, they hurt Mahomes, messed up his ankle that one year they played. But I don't think they'll beat them though. I don't.
Look,
You know,
and not to
remains
mention,
to be seen.
and
If
y'all
Coach wins,
forgetting
he's
something. Y'all forgetting
He
something.
knew something we didn't know.
Y'all forgetting something. Okay, y'all forgetting that the refs help Patrick Mahomes out any chance they can get. Right or wrong?
Well, we gonna find out.
I don't know about that.
You don't think the refs? You don't think he's gonna get no rep on the refs?
They've been lucky this year. Teams have beat themselves.
I have seen a video.
Kansas City.
I have seen a video.
Referees with bad calls. It was self-inflicted wounds.
I have seen a video, and I showed you the video holder of him asking the ref, "Can you tell me when my guy gets closer?" You can't ask the ref that. That is your job. Tell your lineman, "Hey, back up a little bit. You're off the ball." And then he's trying to get a flag for a face mask. It wasn't even no face mask. He got hit. I showed you that video. Again, the refs are siding with Patrick Mahomes this year. I don't care what anybody says. It's a proven fact. There's video surfing that I've seen.
Taylor Swift has brought in more fans.
Who?
Taylor Swift.
Who?
Taylor. You know Taylor.
She is an ugly, ugly woman.
The face of the Kansas City Chiefs.
She's an ugly woman.
She's a pop star.
Coach, do you think she's ugly, Coach?
She may be ugly, but if she ever asked me to date her, I would date her.
I wouldn't. Not even a little bit. She's ugly. Not my type.
She's a pop star.
No.
She's a pop star.
Exactly. Pop star. Pop star.
The kids love her.
Believes that Jameis Winston can get the job done. Maybe it's the Browns defense that gets the job done and makes it easy for Jameis.
And him and I ask you this. Isaiah Pacheco might come back this game. Do you think Cleveland's defense can stop him?
Yes.
I knew he was going to say that. He was going to say that.
They have a good D line.
Now let me ask you a question. If Myles Garrett was hurt, do you think Cleveland would have a chance to beat Kansas City? So you think one guy's going to cause havoc?
Yes.
I don't think. Okay. Coach, give me a score for this game, Coach.
I want to say 17-14 game winner walk-off by Cade York.
Okay, that was a close game. That's the closest score I didn't think he was going to get that close. I thought it was going to be a blowout with you. But okay, I like that.
No, it's an upset alert.
Okay. Remember that, 17-14. Okay. Next up.
17-14. Hold on. Let me just get one more. How many Jameis Winston passing yards? Or do they do it on the ground?
382 passing yards. No touchdowns in the air.
Hold on, did you just cuss? And did you just give out a false rating of 380? What the hell is going on tonight? Hunter cussed. You gave out a false stat against Kansas City. Oh, my God.
That's almost 400 yards. Well, Kansas City secondary is suspect, though.
Hold on. I got to look something up real quick. Oh, my mind's hurting. Oh, I think my blood pressure's up high. Oh, I think it's up so high. I think I'm going. Oh shit. Oh, let me. Okay, okay. So a couple things here. Let me ask y'all this. Justin Herbert had 213 yards. Okay, do you really think Jameson Winston's better than Justin Herbert?
What?
Justin Herbert, when he
Yes.
played against Kansas City, you think Jameson Winston's better than Justin Herbert?
This
Shoot
season,
myself in the
no.
shoot myself in the foot. I don't think he's better. If he was better than Justin Herbert, he would be starting the quarterback. He is second string quarterback. He's not better than Justin Herbert. He's not going to throw over that. What you said that ridiculous number you said. And
He definitely will
do you
get a
think he's better than
starting
Josh Allen?
job.
Because Josh Allen threw 262 yards. Do you think he's better than Josh Allen?
No, but it doesn't mean
Okay then.
Josh
Let's
Allen.
just be real. Is Jameis Winston going to be the starter in Cleveland next season?
Fuck no. Fuck no.
Maybe
No.
they've talked about it.
No.
They've talked about it,
Holder,
Sean. They've talked
Holder, this
about
is
it.
a Pittsburgh fan, Holder. He's a Pittsburgh. I think you should tell him to be a Cleveland fan now.
For what?
You are riding this brown wagon. I don't know why, Coach. I don't know why. I don't know why, Coach. I don't know why.
Listen. I'm just being honest. Listen for a minute. All right, versus Denver, a way better secondary than the Chiefs. He threw for 497.
Okay, but again,
497. 3 yard.
Josh
Oh, no.
Allen.
I ain't done. I'm not done. Hold on. Versus a great Steelers team, he threw for 219. Okay. Versus a great Ravens team, he threw for 334. Come on,
Again,
Sean.
Josh
Come
Allen
on.
threw
No.
262. 262 against Kansas City. And you think Jameson Winston's going to throw over 300 yards?
He's done it before.
All right, I'm gonna make a bet with you, Coach. Make a bet with you. If Jameson Winston throws over 300 yards, it could be 301. If he throws over 300 yards, I will do 50 push-ups for you.
Okay. And if he
But
don't,
if he does not throw, you owe me 50 push-ups
that's fine.
on a
So
live
get ready to
stream,
do
by the
some
way.
push-ups.
So next show you gotta do it live. All
That's
right,
fine.
that's
Get
a
ready to
bet.
do some push-ups.
It's a bet. It's a bet. All right. Hold, you want into action before we go to the next game? Want some action? You want to make a bet?
This is 101. I made my pick. I went with KC only because I don't like the Browns, the Bengals, or the Ravens.
I don't like the Browns. Next up, we got Cincinnati over Tennessee. All three of us picked Cincinnati. Do you think this is a must-win for Cincinnati, or do you think Cincinnati's days in the playoffs are done this year?
Cincinnati is done for the year.
And I don't understand what's going on over there. Joe Burrow, he's playing his ass off this year. Jamar Chase is playing his ass off. I don't know. I don't know if it's like defense or if it's like a mixture of offense as well. I don't know. I don't know.
It's the defense.
What I can tell you though is that I think if something don't change, I think Jamar Chase will be leaving the Bengals soon. Just saying.
What?
Just saying. They haven't given him an extension yet. He's playing his ass off. He's leading the league in receiving yards, right?
You're
But
crazy.
yet no extension. No extension. Why
It
have they not
takes
given this guy
time.
extension? JJ got his before his rookie
And
contract's up. So why not
who
Jamar
else? Who
Chase?
else do they? Who else does the Vikings have to pay? Who else?
Um, a lot. We have
You ain't named no good
Jordan Addison
names.
now.
I'm waiting.
We got we got Jordan Addison now. We got T.J. Hawkinson. We had to get T.J. Hawkinson.
He's not due for a payday.
I'm just saying. Oh, and then before
I'm just saying.
JJ
Oh,
though,
no. I'm just saying. I'm just
and
saying. Look at
Smith,
it.
Harrison Smith, we had to give him some money too.
T.
We had to give him some money
T.
too.
Higgins is a bigger player than anybody you named over there on the Vikings other than JJ.
T. Higgins
They
has
got
been
to
in the
pay
league for
him
a little
too.
bit. I look. I think if T. Higgins,
Chase
I think T.
Brown,
Higgins.
Chase Brown, the new running back that they got. They just paid just Joe Burrow. They got to find a way to get the money first.
But I think they overpaid Joe Burrow because you got to get a line.
Nah,
You
nah.
smell because he's been
Say he
sacked
was
so many
taking
times.
a pay cut. Look, they're not going to be able to keep Higgins and
Jamar
Chase.
Chase. Yeah, I mean, 'cause
There's no
look,
way they're
they
going
could
to keep both of
they
them.
had to let Tyler Boyd go last year, right? They couldn't keep him around, which I think that was stupid. I think they should have. They traded Joe
2
Mixon.
years ago.
Was it 2 years ago? They traded Joe Mixon last year, so they have money somewhere sitting around. What? Why are they not using that money?
So
I
you're
have no
saying they
clue.
can retain both wide receivers next season?
Hell yeah, I think they should. And it starts with
No,
Jamar Chase still.
but they will not.
I don't think they. I think they lose one of them.
You don't think they got money to sign both of them, Coach?
No.
I mean, I think they will. I think Higgins will take, and I don't think Jamar Chase wants the money. I think he wants to stay with the Bengals because Joe Burrow's his best friend. I think he wants that extension. I don't think he's looking for money. I think he wants that extension, saying, "Hey, I know if you give me an extension, that means I'm here for the long haul, not for the short term."
Mm-hmm.
I
You
could
let Higgins go.
no.
You
You let
draft
Higgins.
another wide
If you
receiver.
let Higgins go, then you got to develop another receiver to go with Chase. It's
Doesn't matter.
pointless. It's pointless.
Did JJ catch on fast?
He did. Look what's
If
going
they
on.
get a prolific receiver out of college, and they don't have to pay him as much, and he can play up to Higgins' talent,
Look what's going on over in
and
Minnesota.
he can still learn in the process.
I
They
don't know.
save money, right? And then they can still get
I mean,
another player, maybe an offensive lineman,
there's
because Joe's been running
running
his
for his
whole
fucking
career.
life. Running for his life. I mean, there has been speculations that DK Metcalf might be traded from Seahawks in
Hell
the
no.
draft. Maybe they go after him and keep Jamar. I don't know. I don't know. Next up, I'm surprised you didn't pick the Saints, by the way, Coach. But next up, we got Washington and Saints. We all three got Washington. I think this is a must win
Time out.
for the Saints.
Time
But I
out.
think Washington.
Now, why the hell would I pick the Saints, Coach?
Because you picked the Browns. I thought you
But
was
the
no
no no
upset.
no
I thought
no
you go for
The
upsets.
Saints don't have no chance at all.
But you picked the Browns.
The
I
Browns
thought you
have a
wanted
chance.
upset.
The Browns have a chance. The Browns have a chance. I pick an upset
No,
every time you send me that list. I pick an upset. That's my upset of the week,
I
Coach.
think
This is going to be a straight slaughtering.
I think of
That's his upset. I pick upsets too. Morgan doesn't get that, coach. He never picks an upset team.
that's why I win.
You have to cheer for the
I'll pick
underdog.
upset. I'm going for underdog, and Holder knows my underdog. But I'm going for underdog this week, and we get to that in a minute. But this is a must win for the Saints, and the reason why I say that is because they're sitting almost dead last in that division.
They're done.
I
Must
mean, I
win.
know the Panthers.
It's
I
over.
know the Panthers there. But Washington, and this is also and get the Washington. LaShawn Lattimore is playing against the Saints this week. This is his first game back since been traded. So this is like a homecoming game for him. So Latimore's gonna have fun. He's gonna have fun against the Saints.
And lock Chris Olave concussion
Um.
protocol ass up.
Oh yeah, yeah. If Derek Carr was playing, I think it'd be different. But I don't know. And I don't mean different. I don't. The reason why I say different, I don't think it'll be a blowout as much as it will be tomorrow.
So you think it's going to be a blowout?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think Washington's gonna win at least by 20 points.
20? Oh.
Yeah.
20?
I think Washington beat them by 20. 23. I'm going 23-3.
Mm.
They don't have a quarterback. Derek Carr is hurt.
They
They have
got
to rely on
Alvin
the running game
Kamara. They can run the ball.
against Washington's defense. I think Washington's defense is going to be is something that you can't do that with.
I like your take. This is
I'm
probably the
just
most
saying.
boring. This is going to be the most boring game of all, though. I'm not going to lie.
What? You think so?
Yes, this is one of those games
No,
that
I think
I'm not.
the Cowboys game.
No,
I think the Cowboys
Cowboys
game
show
is gonna be
life.
boring. You're right. You're right. Okay. So Barkley did have 50 rushing yards against Washington. I don't think Alvin Kamara can do that without being tired because we've seen it over and over that Alvin Kamara comes out at times because he gets tired. And then also that offensive line is not that good in the Saints. We've seen things.
True.
So you saying Kamara is not physically in shape?
Exactly.
We we've seen it multiple times that he's not in shape. Multiple times this year.
Uh,
And maybe it's the line.
everybody
Maybe
steps
it's
off
the
the
line.
field to get a breather, man.
I don't know. I mean, Anthony Richardson touched his helmet. We ain't talk about that no more. Anyways, we all got Baltimore the Giants. That's gonna be a slaughter. Um, the Giants need help. Just gonna throw that out there.
Help is on the
But
way.
Baltimore, you think so?
I know so.
Yeah, maybe they should sell the team.
Hey, coach, this next pick, you said upset of the week. This next pick, you don't think it's upset either? Because you got Carolina over Dallas.
That's not an upset. Look at Bryce Young. Go look at his last 4 games. He almost beat Philly. He almost beat a good amount of teams. I don't think it's an upset. If anything, Dallas beating the Panthers would be more of an upset. But that's my most. That's the game of
You
the
think
week
so?
right there for me. That's my most interesting. Yes,
I mean, I'm surprised. I can't believe I picked Dallas. But
I
that's gonna be
can
the
do
once
that.
in a lifetime used to be picked. Then
What?
Bryce
I
Young.
don't.
You're going to learn his
Oh,
name
you
a
picked
lot
Dallas too.
tomorrow.
I don't know why you did. Um,
Look,
next,
dude.
this other pick that we're about to talk about is a head scratcher for me because me and Holder we picked the Jets and you got Jacksonville. Lawrence
Yes, Mac Jones.
Trevor
Mac
Lawrence ain't playing.
Mac Jones.
Okay, Mac Jones is good. He is good. He is good, but I don't
Trevor
think Jacksonville's
Etienne.
defense is that great.
Trevor Etienne. It's not about
But their defense
if
ain't that great.
it's not about if the Jags can stop them. It's about if they can stop the Jags.
That's fair. That's fair. Fair point. Fair point. Okay,
I
Holder.
I hate to revert back to because I was looking up this uh, information on the Carolina Cowboys game, and Carolina is favored by 3.
Well, Coach
Yes.
said Dallas was to be upset for Dallas. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
So
telling
it
you.
was if Carolina is
Carolina is the
favored, then yeah.
yes, Carolina is one
Now,
receiver away and O line pieces from being a good football team.
So do you think Bryce Young? Do you think they should keep Bryce Young?
Look at the way he's played recently. Yes, he got his job back for good.
I honestly I think it was a coaching over there. To be honest, I could be wrong though. I think coaching had a lot to do with it.
possibility.
Um, and we seen like for example, look at Sam Donald. He's doing good things in Minnesota. When he played for the Jets, he wasn't terrible. But he wasn't good. He was just average quarterback. Now he's showing signs of life. Next up,
Signs of life. Signs of life.
yeah.
Not signs. He done showed true life.
Next up, me and Holder picked Houston. You did not. Both. I mean, both teams are good. Don't get me wrong. Both teams are good.
Who
But
did? Wait, I didn't
Houston, I
hear.
think,
I
has
didn't.
the upper
You
hand.
went. You went in and out. I couldn't hear you.
You picked Miami. You picked
Oh,
Miami, but me and Holder picked Houston. It's not a bad. It's not a bad pick. Not a bad pick at all. I picked Houston because I like C.J. Stroud. I like Will Anderson. I like what they had over there. Nico Brown. I'm Joe Mixon is doing his thing over Houston. I just don't think the Jets or I don't think the Miami's defense is capable of keeping up with Houston.
yeah. I'm regretting my pick right now. To be honest.
I mean, it's not too late. It's not too late to change it. If you want to change it to Houston, you
No, no,
can. It's
no,
not too
no,
late.
no. I'm gonna keep Miami, but I am regretting it a little bit. It depends on how the offense is working.
Now, don't get me wrong. If Tua can get the ball to Waddle and to Hill, it's going to be a long day for that secondary in Houston. If
Yeah,
not, it's going to be a long day for Miami, right? So, and Miami, Houston is showing people they don't need Stephen Diggs. They're winning games without Diggs. They was losing with Diggs, but winning without him. Next up is the Colts in Denver. I picked Denver. A couple of shows ago, I asked Holder if Denver made the playoffs, so there'd be a threat. And he was like, "Not gonna make the playoffs. Not gonna make the playoffs." I think they're in that playoff spot as of right now. Right?
yeah.
That's why I got Denver because they're a young team. I like them. I like Bo Nix. I think they got something to prove.
Can I pick the coach?
Well, Denver's got a pretty strong hold
No,
on that last playoff spot. Now, they could lose some games, but
I don't think they will.
they are playing pretty good football.
I don't think they're gonna lose. They might lose against the playoffs, but coach, answer your question. No, you got Denver. Surprisingly, you got Denver.
Good.
Um, I wonder if Anthony Richardson would touch his helmet again to get out of the game. Um, I mean, they are
Oh,
playing. They are playing Denver. Um, next up is Buffalo and Detroit. Coach, you got Buffalo winning.
Yes,
Okay, it's not a
sir.
bad pick.
Josh Allen.
Me and Jorge, we got me and Jorge got Detroit. Now let me ask you a question, Coach. If Buffalo loses, do you think Detroit will be for real?
Yes. This is their test right here. This is their final exam. This will either make or
Do
break
you think it's
them.
gonna be a blowout?
No, not by far.
What if? And hear me out. I know we're playing. What if? What if Bills win by 3? Will that still show you that Detroit still can keep up with contenders?
Yes, it does. And that would give them a B plus, but they would still have to prove themselves. They have to know the playoffs ain't gonna be easy. It ain't gonna be all them little trick play gadget plays they run. They cannot run that in the playoffs.
I agree. I agree. They can't. But also, I want to point out that they got to win this game to keep home field advantage throughout the
Exactly.
playoffs. Because we've seen the Chiefs lose. Chiefs lost 2 games already, right?
Right.
Detroit lost one, so they got to win this game and go on to win more games
Now
to
the
keep
Chiefs is 12
home
and
field
1.
advantage. Oh, they are 12-1. You know what? I was thinking they lost. I was thinking they was losing tomorrow. My bad. You had me. You had my mind all blowing up.
and put the flash down, Morgan.
But if the Chiefs lose tomorrow and the Lions win, the Lions got to keep winning to keep home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Otherwise, it's a toss up between those two teams. Um, next up, man, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. I picked Pittsburgh because I like their defense. I went over with T.J. Watt already, and I picked him because of what's going over in Philadelphia between A.J. Brown saying what he said with the passing game. I think there's some heat going on over there. I know you two pick because you guys are Pittsburgh fans. But let me ask you a question. Do you think Pittsburgh could shut down Barkley?
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, they shut him down when he was in New York.
I mean, y'all did shut down Derrick Henry too. What about you, Coach? Do you think they can shut down Barkley?
It's gonna be tough, man. You know, I don't think it's going to come down to Barkley. It's going to come down to that secondary if they can limit the turnover. I mean, the penalties. Joey Porter Jr. cannot get 5 penalties tomorrow. He gets 5 penalties tomorrow, and they cannot be in short situational game. They can't be in 4th and 1 because we know what's coming. The tush push and it's unstoppable. And they've made it more fun because now they run tush push reverses and things. So they just have to be cautious and manage the 4th and 3s instead of the 4th and 1s.
Let me ask you both a question. Is George Pickens playing this game?
No,
Do you think he's going to be the main reason that Pittsburgh loses if they lose?
no. Yes, but no.
Holder, Holder, what's your take? Do you think Pickens is going to be the reason if they lose tomorrow because he's not playing?
No, I think if the defense gives up too much, it'll be the reason for Pittsburgh to lose. Now they've got some issues they need to. I mean, other runners have gassed them, but not as badly as Barkley can, and there's AJ Brown and Smith. So they've got to really tighten up the defense and keep them at a manageable. If they can keep them under 20 points,
I think
I think Pittsburgh may have
I think
win.
AJ Brown. I don't think I don't think he would be a factor, or even to show some zone. If they do some zone plays in there to slow down that the passing game of Philadelphia. I don't think that'd be a factor either of them winning. That's my take. That's me
You
though.
know, they can put bracket coverage on Brown, but they really, if they can do that and stop the run or keep it at a bare minimal, they
If
can win the game.
if they can stop Barkley from averaging 5 yards a carry, I think that's going to hurt. Is him getting 5 yards because first down is 10 yards. If you get 5 yards, you got 5 more yards to go, right? If they can stop him getting 5 yards a carry, maybe limit it to three. I think they would do good and win.
Yeah.
It depends. I've heard rumors that Deshaun Elliott is hurt also.
Yeah, he won't be playing tomorrow either.
Damn.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they got to depend on Edmonds, I think DeMonte KZ can fill that void.
Edmonds
But
is
if they put
Yeah.
Edmonds'
trash.
sorry ass in there, it's
They
a
no,
wrap.
Edmonds is
they cut
trash.
Edmonds.
If they cut him again,
Yeah,
good.
they cut him again.
Dang, I didn't know that.
He,
Okay, that's good to know.
he's trash. Oh,
Uh,
he's trash.
Next up, we all three got Arizona over New England. I think Arizona needs this game so they can stay up there with Seattle. Because they're only, like I
Hmm.
said, they're only a game back, right? They also need to win this game because the Rams won, so they need to win this game to stay up there with them. If they lose, it's going to move the Rams up to number two. Arizona's going to drop number three, and I think it's going to be a hard hole to get out of for Arizona
Yeah.
because they won't be just a game back; they'll be 2 games back.
Let me ask Coach a question about Arizona. Coach, James
Yes, sir.
Conner has become a beast since he went to Arizona. What's up with that?
I mean, they different schemes. James Conner was a beast in Pittsburgh. We let him walk, but I mean, 1 second. It's the schemes, man. Everybody got a different scheme. We like running the ball. They run a lot of zone runs over there. We run a lot of power runs. We need power backs. They need zone backs, and he's a zone back. So that's the difference right there.
Yeah, I mean it shows, and I'm like, oh my god, this dude has turned into an animal.
Yeah.
So
Next, yeah,
did we all pick Arizona?
yes, we did. Thank God.
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, because I thought for sure that Coach was going to pick the sex trafficking team.
Oh,
I thought he was going to pick New England over Arizona. Just saying, I thought he was going to pick them. Um, next up, on the list is Tampa Bay and the Chargers. Holder, me and you picked the Chargers. Coach, on the hand, picked Tampa Bay. Both of them ain't a bad pick. I don't. Me and Holder don't like Baker Mayfield, so we're kind of biased on the area. But I think the Chargers need to win this game because if they lose, they're gonna go against the Chiefs in the playoffs because they're gonna have a bad seed.
yeah. No, the Chiefs are likely to get the 1 seed, so it'll probably be the Bills.
Yeah, see, so there you go. Right, but Tampa Bay also needs to win because Tampa Bay needs to win that division to maybe keep playoff hope alive of playing a lower seed.
Exactly.
Well,
So,
Morgan, I picked the Chargers, but Johnston has been dropping some easy
easy
passes.
easy passes. Um, and
He has not lived up to
and
the
they're
billing, man.
no, and they're playing at home. And I also like Chargers secondary. Don't get me wrong, Tampa Bay secondary is really good too, but I do like Chargers secondary. Next up is my upset of the week. It's Green Bay and Seattle. Both of you guys got Green Bay. I picked Seattle. And they're playing Seattle, by the way. I don't know if Jordan Love and the Packers can win at 12-man field.
I do.
Come on, dude.
I just don't see it. It's going to be allowed.
If,
The
if
only way
Aaron
they can win,
Rodgers could, he can.
the only way that he could, the only way he could do it is get on the board before Seattle strikes, right? To get the crowd calm down, quiet. Because if you're up 14-0, the crowd's gonna be sunk. They're gonna be dead because they're gonna be thinking like, oh shit, we're gonna lose this game. But if you let Seattle get up 7-0, 10-0, that crowd's gonna be quiet. You gotta shut that crowd down by scoring and stopping Seattle.
I think they'll pressure your boy Smith, Geno Smith. I think they'll pressure him enough to where he can fold. Now, Geno is just like any other quarterback under pressure. We've seen him in his past when he wasn't that great, and we've seen him since he's gotten better. I mean, to me, he's still the same Geno Smith.
I think he's still the same.
But
I mean,
if they pressure him, he'll fold.
And it goes back with Kenny Walker. If Kenneth Walker isn't playing, that's I think Seattle got some strengths because that's the best running back they got over there in Seattle is Walker.
But you think the 12th man is going to be the difference?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you keep Seattle in that game, the crowd's gonna be in that game. You got to take the crowd out by scoring and stopping Seattle. To me, playing in 12 men is like going to Death Valley and playing LSU at home or playing Clemson at home in football, right? You got to keep that crowd down by scoring and shutting down that offense of Clemson or LSU or even Louisville, right? Because Louisville's crowd can get loud too if they're winning, right? You got to put a stake in that and then drive down the field, score, stop them from scoring. I think Josh Jacobs is going to be a factor in this game.
Are you saying that because you went to the Louisville game?
I'm just
saying. Are
saying.
you saying that you stayed at that game? That game wasn't even close. We could have started the show on time. You stayed at that game. Louisville was killing them.
I'm just saying because that crowd is loud. I've been to a Colts game. The Colts crowd was loud. But again, if you score and stop the home team from scoring, that crowd is going to suck that air out of the crowd, right? It's going to make them shut up because they're like, oh man, we're going to lose.
That's an Indy Stadium home game,
though. I'm just saying.
That's why they say hostile environment, right? Because it's a home game.
But Seattle's environment's different, though. I don't know. It's different. because that crowd is so packed in there, and you're seeing a lot of green, a lot of yellow, a lot of Seahawks stuff, and like just fans are just blowing air horns. They're fucking screaming. They're yelling. Even kids are yelling. And I don't know why kids are yelling, but kids be yelling, right?
What are you saying?
I'm just saying that
What are
field.
you saying?
That field
So
is.
it doesn't make a difference when Minnesota plays at home in the dome, where all that noise is confined. It's not escaping into the air. It's under the dome. And you're telling me that
Look,
Minnesota is not allowed fan base.
if you go back and watch the week before last when they played Arizona, look how quiet that crowd got when Arizona, they thought Minnesota was going to lose. Go back and look at that.
Well, of course.
Again, so
that's with any stadium.
But again, Seattle's is different because no matter what, you could be down by 3 in Seattle, and that crowd's still going to be loud. That's what I'm saying. You gotta march down here, score 14, and stop them, because if you score 14 and they can't score, their crowd's going to be sucked out of them.
They're like that in Tampa Bay. They're like that in Kansas City.
And we've seen what happened in Kansas City. You got to go down there and march down the field, because if you keep them hanging around. I
don't think it's going to be a close game.
I think it's going to be close. Give me a score holder. Give me a score holder.
I think they will win by 13.
You think Green Bay's going to win by 13?
Yeah, if not more.
Coach, do you agree with that? Do you think Green Bay's going by 13?
I think Green Bay wins by 20.
What? What is wrong with you two? Okay.
10-30. Final score.
Maybe I'm biased because maybe it's Green Bay, but I'm just saying here, I think it's going to be a close game. I'm going to say 28-23, Seattle.
Seattle wins.
Absolutely, I got them winning. Next up, it's Monday night game. It's my team, the Minnesota Vikings, against the Chicago. Those what do they call them? Cubs? No, that's a baseball team. The Crybabies. The Bears. The Bears. Look what it is. The Bears. Playing against the Bears. I got Minnesota. We all got Minnesota winning. Hold it. By the way, did you tell your wife if Vikings win, I'm gonna send her a Vikings T-shirt because that means they swept the Bears?
He said, "Save your money, Morgan." Now listen, I don't want you to get your hopes up high. Now I did pick Minnesota, but this is a divisional game.
It is, and they're playing in Minnesota.
Okay, and you can't say that Caleb Williams has not been playing good. He does enough.
Look, it's not Caleb. It's not Caleb Williams. It's not him. And I can vouch. It's not Caleb. It's the coaching. It is the play calling. It's the coaching. It starts there, right? That's why the coach got fired.
I mean,
that's why I got fired.
Look,
it's not Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is playing phenomenal. To have an old ass Keelan Allen playing over there, okay? Who's been playing off and on. The defense isn't suspect. It's not great. So yeah, but they're going against Minnesota, who Minnesota beat you in overtime by 3.
Wait, hold on.
At Soldier Stadium.
Did you say overtime?
Yeah.
You said overtime, right?
Oh wait, that wasn't that game. Oh yeah, it was overtime, wasn't it? Yeah, they played overtime that game.
That was overtime, right? That means it was a close game.
Again, at Soldier Field. Now you're coming in at Minnesota, playing at home. I don't think they're ready for this ass whooping Minnesota's going to hand out.
But wasn't Darnold playing like subpar?
It was cold outside, okay? He wasn't used to playing in cold weather outside. We got a dome now. I'm just saying.
Coach, I know you picked Minnesota, man, but do you think there's a remote chance that the Bears could upset Minnesota?
No. Nope. Never. Not gonna happen.
I was asking Coach.
Not unless JJ towards his ACL.
Mm,
He put out towards his
yeah.
ACL. If he towards ACL, I promise to God, I'm gonna change my team to Pittsburgh Steelers. I wouldn't do that. But yeah, Coach. Do you think that that Bears have a chance to upset Minnesota?
Nah, they suck. Outright horrible.
Okay. See, he agrees with me. Last pick, is the Falcons, and this one, it was a toss up. It was either me pick a sorry Las Vegas team or me pick a washed up Kirk Cousins and the Falcons team. And why I say washed up because Kirk Cousins is washed up, right? So I went with Atlanta because I did some research and Max Crosby is out. He might be done for the year.
I did a coin
So
toss.
that defense is not going to be great when it comes to rushing.
Yeah, I did
Is
a
that what
coin
you think?
toss.
You did a coin toss. Mine was iffy. I looked at injury reports. And Holder, yes, is what's what I think. I think Las Vegas defense is not going to be the same without Max Crosby.
It's a possibility.
Not to mention the quarterback that was playing over there. What was his name? Oh snaps. Anyways, the quarterback that was starting this year, he might be done too for a little bit. So only time would tell. Only time would tell. Um, I mean, man, we've had. I think we have a phenomenal show tonight. Um, Coach, I want to say thank you for coming on to the show again. I hope we have you again, maybe for a Christmas special. You know, when Pittsburgh KC plays, I know you're going to that game, so
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. I'll be on call while I'm in Pittsburgh.
I mean, even if your brother wants to come back on the show, it'd be nice.
Yeah,
You know,
I'll definitely be back. Maybe it will be on Christmas Day.
maybe. I kind of want to do and Holder, I haven't talked to you about this, but I kind of want to do a special uh, Christmas show. You know, before the Christmas game. It don't have to be a long show. Just talk about the game. Uh, you know, and wish people happy holidays. It maybe a 30 minutes, a 45-minute show. I know we got families we got to spend with, or even maybe Christmas Eve. Do a Christmas Eve special.
You are
Yeah.
the Christmas Eve special.
I mean, and and just we'll just talk about we don't have to go over the picks or anything. We'll talk about the games that's playing that day on Christmas. Um, I mean, fans, listeners, subscribers, if you guys want a Christmas Eve special, let us know. You know, if we get enough people to say yes, we'll do a Christmas Day special or Christmas Eve special. Um, that being said, Coach, do you got anything you want to add?
uh, none too much, but go Steelers. Get that dub. Tomorrow I'll be at work, so I'll be able to tune into a little bit, but I won't be able to tune into a lot. I want to thank you guys for letting me come back on the show one more time. And the
Oh, yeah.
Ravens suck.
Anytime, Coach.
I
Anytime,
mean,
man.
I don't know how I can top that. You know
The Ravens suck. Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers mustache thing.
I don't know, man. I thought I had it bad by putting down players and teams and stuff, but I think Coach was on one tonight.
Yeah,
Uh,
coaches. I think the planets are aligned for Coach tonight.
um, Coach, I know I like to have you on the show. I want you to come back. Again, I,
Oh yeah.
I love
Oh
having
yeah.
you. I love having you.
yeah, it's great to be
Holder,
here, man.
do you have anything to add before we close out?
I'm gonna side with what Coach said about the Ravens and Lamar Johnson.
It's Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson. By the way, he only threw 2 interceptions, and those interceptions he threw wasn't his fault. One was a strip.
Yeah, okay.
One should have been a strip. It was against Pittsburgh. I know you know what I'm talking about. Should have been a strip, not an interception. And the other one hit the guy's hand. If it hit your hand, it's catchable. Catch that fucking ball.
Anyway, get off the bandwagon.
Lamar Jackson is the greatest quarterback out there.
Oh man.
That being said,
Does he have a Super Bowl ring? No.
Anyway, okay, Holder. Anyways, we're gonna close out. Okay, I'm done with you.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, I can't do this. I can't do a Lamar Johnson thing again.
It's Lamar Jackson. Fans, listeners, subscribers. Again, I want to appreciate having Coach Vari on the show.
Yes, sir.
I want to appreciate you guys for listening and for subscribing and liking. Again, Christmas Eve special. I'd like to know. That being said, don't let 4th down get you.
Well, now that Morgan has got all his trash aired and out of the way, I'd like to extend a thank you from Coach to Coach for coming on again and putting his honest opinion out there and upsetting Morgan about Brian Flores. It was a special treat for me tonight. With all that's been said, happy holidays to all you listeners and subscribers, and stay penalty free. We are